Yeah, so the it's a hard one to describe, although I say that a lot. Um, but it's kind of like what we were talking about with Chris in the beginning. You're dealing with the will, but you're not dealing with trying to make the will do something different. You're basically trying to soothe and re-educate the will. And you have different aspects of the will. And so the Sphinx is identifying these four aspects, but you're almost like soothing the will so that it can have a deeper release on the things that we're connected to or um uh are still attached to, and having it trigger trauma or stress or anxiety or some sort of behavior. And there's going to be like an unwinding to do, a very deep cleansing of the cords between you and different situations and people and everything, so that you just minimize the contamination from the situations, from the people and everything, and you just get to be yourself. And so the first part of it is going through and treating the agitation that can happen in the mental body, the emotional body, the physical body. You just keep calming everything down, the tendency to get triggered. And then from there, you keep like normalizing and balancing out the body, and then you get to the point where, because of that, the body just starts letting go of the contamination in the cords and the connections. And then we just go through and flesh that out, and we establish new patterns within the energy body to break that. We will be going a lot deeper in the three brains, because the thing with the three brains, the harmonizing of the mental processing, emotional processing, and then instinctive processing, is when you harmonize those three, it is, I keep using the word, you innovate and you walk yourself out of these situations, but basically it's engaging the healing process. And that's the thing, especially in the West, we see the healing process as something symptom oriented, where we're going to target something and wrestle with it and make it go away. When here we're trying to literally use your physiology and how you're wired to let it float away, rather than something you got to wrestle with and make happen. And so it's a very soothing class, but we're just going to follow the steps and mechanics. And it could be about trauma, but for me, for example, I've been doing these things for a while, so I've worked on like the car accidents and this and the argument with somebody, and whatever. Not that it doesn't need tune up from time to time, but it would just be like the stress of work, the stress of this, the stress of and it's not even now. It was still things that were like 10, 15, 20 years ago. And I would just, think of times that were like stressful, and it's amazing how much comes out, and then how much better I feel. Like, I did some over the holiday weekend, and um, I got a lot of good rest because I just let go of a bunch of old stuff that I wasn't thinking about or grinding on. But, it's just on the bucket list of, at some point I gotta address these just old stressful situations. And, most of them were 20, 30 years ago. Like it wasn't even like recent. And oh my God, it was so relaxing. I was so relaxed that Samantha came in a couple of times and was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm feeling chill." But yeah, releasing those things doesn't have to be a wrestling match or a fight. It can just be simply blowing in the wind and things just float away.